Thanks, Barry. Look, I just wanted to make two or three quick but important points. Firstly, just want to update you on the situation with the master. Charges were laid by the Director of Maritime New Zealand against the master of the vessel under Section 65 of the Maritime Transport Act. It is alleged that he has committed an offence by operating a ship in a manner which causes unnecessary danger or risk. My understanding is he appeared in the Tauranga District Court this morning, was granted bail and interim name suppression, and surrendered his passport to the court. He must also report daily unless required for salvage operations. It is quite likely that further charges may be laid when the master appears in court again next week. Maritime New Zealand is liaising with MFAT to ensure that there is consular assistance. That investigation continues, and as I say, more charges are expected. The other point I wanted to touch on is very important, is the work that's being done to coordinate the volunteer program. I'd like to acknowledge particularly Mayor Stuart Crosby and the other mayors present, and the chair of BOP Regional Council, John Cronin, with the volunteer beach clean-up program. There will be beach liaison people on all the main beaches tomorrow morning to advise potential volunteers, and there'll be training of beach clean-up supervisors, and that's being carried out tomorrow morning. It's about, as I understand, it's about 2 or 3 hours to do that training. So people who have already registered by phone or email to be involved in the beach clean-up incident, the incident control centre will either contact you in the next 3 days to arrange rostering. If you haven't yet volunteered for the clean-up and you want to, then 0800 oil spill is the number to call there. And my understanding is in the morning briefing tomorrow, there will be announcements of the venues to go along to receive your training, also collect the gear and be organised into teams to assist with the clean-up. I should also note the local iwi have done a tremendous job organising iwi volunteers to assist as well. They're working with the Army on that part of the program. And then if I could just make 2 or 3 points about the wider effort, both the salvage and the oil response recovery. I think it's important to stress again that we are not seeing the worst of this yet in terms of the environmental effects. Everybody is understanding that there is likely to be more significant oiling on the beach in the coming days. That's the reality when a ship such as this hits the reef off the coast. So that's, as I think the point that both myself and Nick Smith made yesterday, this is a marathon and not a sprint. There will be a constant clean-up for some weeks to come, and the reality is we do not know how long that will occur for. It is very dependent on the state of the ship. It's very dependent on where the oil gets to in terms of whether it stays in those tanks or not, and it's also dependent on things such as weather conditions. The second point is to underline the work that's being done by the salvage crews and the salvage operation on the ship. You have John Walker here this afternoon. I saw him just after he got off the ship yesterday, and they've been up pretty constantly for 4 or 5 days, all the guys that were on there. There's been a lot of talk about whether things could have happened much quicker. I think it's when people understand the state of that ship, the unique nature of it, the fact that it's been driven hard onto this reef, and the level of smashed pipes and those things that have occurred, and there's been lots of suggestions, and obviously while everybody's suggestions are respected, if they just got on the boat and started twirling valves and letting oil out, then we'd have had a lot more oil in the ocean already than we have currently, given the state of the pipework on that vessel. And the reality is they had to do a huge amount of work. I pay tribute to the divers who were out there as early as Thursday and right through until Sunday doing their work. As I say, we would have all liked it to happen faster, but you do need to understand just how difficult this environment is. And I spoke to the salvage master yesterday again after he came off the ship, and he gave me a little bit of a taste for exactly how tough it was. You know, these are pretty brave guys that have been out there doing this job on the reef for us.